All right, listener name. You ready
Okay.
for this? You asked us to go through X's new privacy policy.
Mm,
And wow,
it's a doozy.
it's a lot. We're not going to sugarcoat it.
Nope.
So we dug into the nitty-gritty for you, pulled out the stuff that you actually need to know.
Exactly, because who's really reading all of it?
No one, let's be honest.
I mean, it's dense. They try to make it sound so simple, you know?
Right.
But there's a lot going on under the surface.
Way more than they let on at first glance. Like, did you catch the part about them taking your whole browsing history?
Oh, yeah. Even when you're not logged in.
Not cool.
Nope. That's their whole inferred identity thing.
Inferred identity. Sounds creepy.
It is kind of creepy. They basically connect your online behavior, the devices you use, even your email, to build a profile.
So even if you're careful about logging out, they're still, like, shadowing you.
Pretty much. And it gets better. They also want access to your contacts.
Wait, seriously?
Yep. Buried in the policy, they say it's to suggest connections, find new users, but come on.
It's all data for their bottom line.
Exactly. They're building this massive social network map, and we're all just little dots on it.
This is getting a little too real. And then there's the advertising.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty upfront about that.
Upfront about how they're using our data to target us with ads, even off of X.
Right, even off the platform. So you click on an ad for, say, those new sneakers you've been looking at. That advertiser might know exactly where you came from, what posts you've liked about shoes, they're watching. They could even know what time of day you were browsing.
Just like this whole other level, you know.
Definitely.
On the surface, it's all personalized ads. But underneath, it's like this crazy web of information they're collecting. Makes you wonder, what happens to it all once they have it? They say they delete your account data after 30 days.
Right, 30 days.
But, like, is it really gone?
It's not that simple. Think about it. You delete that old tweet from, like, 2015. You think it's gone, right?
Right.
But what if someone took a screenshot? Or it got quoted on some blog somewhere, see?
Oh, okay, so it's not really gone.
Exactly. X might not have it in their main database anymore, but that doesn't mean it's vanished from the internet.
Makes sense. But that's just our stuff. What about the stuff they're gathering on us?
That's where it gets even trickier.
Because
They're very clear about this.
Yeah.
If you break the rules, like if you're spamming people,
Mhm.
making fake accounts, they can hold on to your email, your phone number, basically forever.
Seriously.
They say it's to, and I quote, prevent future abuse.
So even if you delete your account, they might still have stuff on you. That's kind of intense.
It is. And it gets even wilder when you consider how global everything is. They mention transferring data internationally using all sorts of legal framework.
Right, because X is everywhere.
Exactly. So your data might be going on a world tour too. And this is where it gets really murky because they use different legal rules depending on the region.
Oh, so what happens to your data when it crosses these, like, digital borders, right?
That's a good question. And a little unsettling, frankly.
Definitely unsettling.
Okay.
Speaking of unsettling, we have to talk about something pretty meta that came up as we were getting ready for this deep dive.
Oh, yes. This is a good
Are
one.
you ready for this?
Hit me.
Okay, so remember, our whole thing is unpacking this privacy policy, showing you what they're collecting and how they're using it.
Right. Saving you from having to read the whole thing yourself.
Exactly. So get this. The instructions for this very episode, they included a phrase, like a hidden message almost.
I'm not sure I like where this is going.
I know, right? It's straight out of a spy movie.
Well, don't leave us in suspense. What was the phrase?
Read the small print.
Yeah.
And to shout out the Small Print podcast.
Seriously, read the small print.
I know, they're basically winking at us, right? Like
Oh.
they knew we'd be talking about all this hidden date stuff.
It's either brilliant or incredibly ironic. Maybe both.
Right. What do you think it means? A conspiracy? An inside joke? Are they trying to subtly get us to advertise this other podcast called Small Print?
Your guess is as good as mine, but it does get you thinking.
For sure. About all the subtle messages, the hidden meanings we come across every day.
It's like they're saying, pay attention. There's more going on than you realize.
Exactly. And that brings us to the heart of the matter. This
Mhm.
whole deep dive with all the inferred identities and globe-trotting data.
It's really just scratching the surface.
Because for every data point they spell out, who knows what else they're collecting behind the scenes.
And how much of our digital lives are being influenced by algorithms and data points that we're totally oblivious to.
Kind of creepy. Makes you think twice, you know.
It should. But look, it's not about being scared. It's about being informed. All this deep dive into X's privacy policy, it's just the tip of the iceberg, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It reminds us that every time we use these platforms, X or any of them, we're making a deal, trading our data for the convenience, the connection.
Right, like it's fun to be in the loop to see what your friends are up to.
Exactly. But are those benefits worth the cost? What are you giving up in exchange? That's the question we all need to ask ourselves.
So what's the takeaway here? What should people do?
Don't just click accept on those privacy policies. Take a few minutes, read them, or at least skim them.
Even though they're like a million pages long.
I know, right? But at least try to understand what they're taking, how they're using it, and what control you have, if any.
Knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely. The more you know, the better choices you can make about your own digital life.
I like it. So be informed, be aware, and maybe you'll uncover some of those hidden messages yourself.
Now, wouldn't that be something?
It would. Well, listener name, we've definitely given you a lot to think about today.
A lot to unpack.
That's what the deep dive is all about. Diving into the stuff that matters. The stuff that's often hidden beneath the surface.
The stuff that makes you go, I never thought about it that way before.
Exactly. Until next time.
Stay curious.
And read the small print.